And welcome back to IESF 14 World Esports Championship Bali 2022. Still with me, Brenda Kwan, and we are going to see the 8th match before we are going to the last match. But on the previous match, we have a winner, and congratulations once again to Chinese Taipei. And I believe you cannot wait to see who will be or who will get the chicken on this match. So without any further ado, I see in the caster desk, there has our most favorite casters. There has Eldoge and also Chuchu. Are you ready? Woo! So the players, are you ready? Give some noise.
Come on, players. Are you guys ready?
Wow. So to the caster, take it away.
You're not ready? No chicken lah. Oh my God, guys, come on. We're down to 2 more games of the day. It's going to be Chuchu and Doggy, and we're super excited. Not so much. The teams are like, yeah, another game, huh? Another game, huh, guys? Come on, guys. Okay.
Let's go. 2 more games.
Give me one shout. Are you guys ready?
Okay.
Oh my God, are you kidding me? One more time. Are you guys ready?
Okay. I think it is because already 2 game left. They just want to concentrate about the game.
No, they're like, yeah.
Yeah.
Are you guys
2
ready?
games.
Yeah. It's like your mom asking you, have you had your lunch? Yeah.
Yeah. What
It's
do
okay.
what do you want for lunch? Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything.
Yeah, anything. What you want to buy? I don't know what you want. Oh, yeah. Oh my God, these guys, I think they're exhausted due to the
Yeah.
long day here today. It's so hot outside and the people is hot. I mean like hot.
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 Yeah, in terms of tournament especially.
Yeah,
And
I'm
also maybe face or appearance. Ooh.
Some of them are really good looking.
Yeah,
by the way.
yeah.
Okay, back to, I'm sorry about shouting in the mic just now. I want to give a bit of a, a bit of a motivation for the players, but they are not that motivated anymore. They're like, yeah, whatever, man. But speaking of which,
Okay.
we talked about the teams like I didn't mention earlier today to you about the Group A, right? Back then. Now we're going to face Group B and C, but Saudi Arabia is just doing their stuff. I told you not to underestimate them when they come back. But about B and C though, if you're looking at this, who do you think will be the top contenders if you compare it with the Group A players?
For the Group A players, I think Group B.
Group B, really?
Yeah.
I thought it's going to be Group C because we mentioned about Jordan, Egypt have so much firepower. I still have my faith in Egypt.
In Egypt.
Please, Habibi, for Masr, okay? Okay, I'm from Masura.
Yeah.
I used to study in there. But back to it, Ghana, Jordan, Djibouti, Guatemala, Maldives. Maldives step up their game, definitely.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I mean, Maldives kind of do a very bold movement, especially at Sanhok. But why I stated before B will be stronger to face Group A because South Korea is just stepping up today. And again, Bahrain with their gameplay. Chinese Taipei even got the winner chicken dinner. And Vietnam. Vietnam actually quite unique because same goes to the first day when they play for B versus C. They can give their best. Even they got the winner chicken dinner.
I'm going to cut you off there halfway. Okay, I told this to Donna earlier. A is for amazing because we do know every single team is just incredibly strong. Group B, Blue Zone.
Play outside of the
I'm sorry, but you saw it before. Iraq, Vietnam, Chinese Taipei, even Bahrain was in Blue Zone. Out of this, like what, 8 teams? 6 teams?
6 teams?
I mean, like 5 or 4 of them is playing in Blue Zone.
Yeah. They intend to play outer, play at the blue zone, and sometimes they just trap themselves by the blue zone.
They love to.
Oh, they love
They have
to.
a feel to the Blue Zone. It's like sun tanning here.
So it's kind of not hurting, but enjoying.
They love the pain.
They
and
love
burn.
the pain.
They love the pain and the burn. I don't know what's happened with them, but it sounds so wrong. But
Okay.
back about Group C is a comeback group.
It's a comeback group, all right?
That's true because you look at Jordan, you look at Maldives, you look at
Maldives.
Egypt.
Yep.
Now I'm waiting for Guatemala and also Ghana to come back as well.
Yeah,
Can
Ghana.
they do it?
I think Ghana, like I already discussed a lot with Donna, especially for their gameplay.
Donna and Ghana.
Donna and Ghana, it's kind of same rhyme. Where's Donna?
It's like Dolce and Gabbana now. But it's Donna and Ghana.
But where's Donna?
I think she needs to get some donuts.
Donuts,
possibly.
yeah. For some, snacks, I guess. But back again for Ghana. I think Ghana need to step up their aggressive gameplay, especially for fight, because they intend to just go to compound by compound, defending, play passively, and actually that's not a big mistake on the beginning. But if you do it oftenly or even usually in a term of tournament, long tournament like this, not long, but for a few days tournament like this, you intend to reduce your muscle memory to do fighting.
That's true.
Yeah.
And not just that, but we're going to continue this discussion. But I know you guys are ready. Yeah, they're still not there.
Ready.
But yeah, we're going to go into Rama map, guys, where we have our last group here, B versus C. Now, you mentioned earlier, right?
All right.
Ghana,
What is
I agree the fact, not just the muscle memory, it just gives you sort of the wrong mindset to start with, you know? It feels like you should, and not just that, when you're playing the same thing over and over again, people tend to already manage, they can't easily read you out. So you're not that sort of a wild card, it's so hard to predict. And in this case, if only they're really kind of studying the side of Ghana, it's just so easy for them to actually overcome it. So Ghana really have to go different strategy almost every single map.
I think that's a great point. So when it comes to the other opponents or the other teams or the other party, they already knew when they face Ghana, especially if they already knocked down one and got the elimination, they know exactly it is Ghana. They will not afraid. They will not losing their tempo to do an aggression, because they already know Ghana play quite passively for about a whole day of the play-ins.
I mean, like, if you compare it with today, I mean, like, might as well put in the first day, because it feels so similar in the first day as well. Now, all they need to do is just have a bit of a confidence and just believe in themselves. They can just go for it. I mean, like, when it comes to their map rotation is just amazing. It's like I mentioned to Jonah before, they sort of have ninja skill.
Yeah.
They can just easily rotate in without anybody noticing. Now, all they need to do is just amp up their firepower. Take a chance at it.
I totally agree. They can move in between the teams, in between the fight, but when it comes to fight,
They are the ones who do the fight.
when they need to do the fight, when they are being pushed by the other teams, it is so hard for them. But yeah, back again to the game, it's the same flight path and the zone is the opposite. So it is not easy for all teams, especially for those teams who are going from the right side, from the east side. They need to go to the west side. And I think I need to deliver this to all the viewers. For Djibouti, unfortunately, they are
They're having a bit of technical issues.
They are having a technical issue. They can't continue the game, but they are not violating any rules.
True. And maybe they will be come back in the last minute. Maybe tomorrow. Who knows? Things might have changed.
I hope.
We hope that they can actually solve the issue in the nearest future. But now we're back towards the games that we mentioned earlier. Now, Vietnam is sort of slowly improving.
Ooh.
Not really slowly improving. It feels like they are doing 2 little steps at a time.
Yup. But right now, Ghana, like we already discussed a lot, right now they are going to a compound near the Los Leones area, but near them also Jordan, but Gaga just dropped down from his vehicle. It's still safe though, and I think Gaga will secure one of the greatest plays to contest one of the players from Ghana right now.
I mean,
Gaga versus Ghana.
Yeah, but at the same time, we saw earlier today was Playins. Now Gaga stepping up to the occasion, and definitely he is so hungry for that elimination.
Ooh, yes.
He even flipped his vehicle just for the sake of that 1 point. That's just how hangry it is. It's not angry plus hungry anymore. It's hangry all the way.
I guess maybe Gaga doesn't have any coffee yet.
Or maybe too much coffee.
Too much coffee. It
Too
can be
much coffee.
one of the reasons too. But right now, close combat will happen with an M4 hipfire right there, but still not a knockdown coming for Team Ghana. But still, one of the players from Ghana, which is Spama is still there. A Molly coming to him, but it's not still hitting him yet because he's so smart. He's going on the top of shelf, I guess. He's not knocked down, but the nades did the job pretty well. Not only one, even 2 players from Ghana.
Yeah, I have to say Jordan really have good coordination between their team players. Here comes another one. They're really hunting down the Ghana players. Nell is on the run here. And whilst the side of Jordan, they definitely have a very good elimination points. Make it 2 right now, as this one will count and easily being executed by Ragnarok. Now, all they need to do is spot out all the other players, which is going to be one of the Ghana players on the high ground. Mufasa managed to find out on Gaga's position. Now, is this really wise? Would you really commit to this, or will you disengage if you're actually in Ghana's position?
For me, if I'm in Ghana position, I'm surely will go out from this fight, because even though I have the high ground, but the weapon that I have is only M16. It is not a good weapon when it comes to knockdown and continuing to be an elimination. If you have M4, if you have Scarrel, but there's no Scarrel if I'm not mistaken at Miram. Oh, there is Scarrel. There is Scarrel. So if you have M4 or Scarrel, it can help you to finish what the knockdown you already done. But yeah, I think Ghana has the same mindset. With only 2 players, they are moving around. They do not want to continue the fight.
I agree with the weapon choice, by the way. Like, even if you don't have a M416, you have at least one M4, another AKM to actually complement during the CQC and the long range. Now, M16 is good damage, it's decent damage, but the recoil is just crazy. How can you control that? I mean, like, and also the pizza gun, the DB28, I hate shooting long range.
Yeah.
It's just, the pizza keep on floating. Can you stay quietly?
The pizza, it's actually an ammunition, but it's kind of, it's a pizza. So yeah, there's a technique if we want to use M16, especially DV28. Well, but again, it is the weapon of choice. Your enemy already have M4, already have maybe UMP for a close combat. So it's a loss situation for Ghana before. They already lost 2 of their players. Even the knockdown can be confirmed to be an elimination. And the only logical way for them right now, just moving out and maybe searching for another better place.
Now, just to really proving my
B for Blue Zone.
My fact here, Vietnam and Mauritius both coming up from Group B. So I mean, like, they love the Blue Zone, right? I'm not surprised if Bahrain is doing the same thing, because they always love to try to backstep all the way beyond, but it just didn't work out for them. They tried to play along with the edge of the circle, but it's just, maybe the circle is just not in their favor. Maybe they're just going the other way. So they couldn't go along with it. So that's going to be a bit of a problem.
I think that's the often things happen to Bahrain, because at this particular game, at this Miramar, I think the circle kind of favors them because they can go to the left side faster than the others. It's proven by they're already stepping down. They're already camping. I'm kind of a bit distracted because one of my friends is already in here. So for what team?
You lost your train of thought now.
So it's actually what team? Bahrain.
Yeah.
So because Bahrain already at a good spot near the El Pozo area.
Yeah, that's kind of true. But are they sitting there still? Because right now, Bahrain feels like
still moving.
They have the idea of what they want to do. It's going to be on top of Monte Nuevo right now. And they're planning to actually start to move. Now, definitely the circle will pop anytime too, in less than a minute on the countdown. But the thing is, are they predicting the right thing? Because there's always a problem with rotation for Bahrain. Did they really read the circle right?
Yeah, and I think one of the factors that you already mentioned at the previous Miramar, the first one, if I'm not mistaken, when it comes to Miramar, it tends to shift. And the shifting kind of hard sometimes.
It's always hard.
Yeah, so back again with a prediction. If Bahrain predict it right, this will be a benefit for them, because this terrain, this particular terrain is not easy to be controlled with. And if they get this one, I think this will be a very good situation for them.
That's true, that's true. But at least their driving skills are incredible. I mean, like, they are doing okay, not tripping over any sort of rocks or structures in between. But back to Bahrain now, they're having a very good transition, but this is where they start to get a bit choked sometimes. You know, they happen to be bumped into more than one team and happen to be a third party on the other end. Now, Egypt, on the other hand, I do have faith in them, but right now they don't have that much because they are playing in the blue zone.
Oh, yeah. And it's actually still quite far, I believe. It is still at this water treatment area, so they still need for about 1 kilometer, even one of the player. But I don't know why.
The thing is, the circle moving way further, and not just that, they might bump into the Vietnam team. They are literally following the steps of the Vietnam team.
For me, in this condition, there are only 2 teams that are already inside the circle and have a lot of benefits. It's only Chinese Taipei and also Bahrain so far, but we are coming to another fight. It's the same between Ghana and also Jordan.
Hey, that's true. All we need to do is looking at who's making a fault first.
Oh.
Back to the side of Toxin. Maldives really want to get one knockdown towards Guatemala, but it's just too far off. They're going to be one to the other mountain. Now, even if they get a knockdown, it's almost impossible to execute it straight away because it's just the slope. You can't reach there on time.
Yeah, totally agree. Because if you are commit enough to do the elimination, to do the execution, you need the time to ride your vehicle towards the Guatemala teams, and it has a big risk. I mean,
Sure.
like the slope, like you already mentioned earlier, it will slow us down, and maybe the other team, like Iraq right now, can join the fight as a third party.
They are joining the fight. They are taking
Oh.
it from behind and backstabbing Volt to take it on one. He kills straight away with an execution translate into 1 point. While Volt's trying to find for more, they are hiking up the hill here. I'm not sure if Guatemala is still under the scope and the radar of Maldives as well, because this will be the perfect timing if Maldives want to butt in as a third party.
Yep, totally agree. Because one of their old enemy, I mean, like the long time enemy at this game, Guatemala, already being pushed. It's only about the time they're being wiped out because it's just 2 players left. Even Cheo already at the low HP, still being shot by Iraq. One of the players left, it is Gyro.
Yeah, I just call him Gyro.
We can call him Gyro. So he's in the slope, but it is not easy because look at Iraqi players. All of the players are coming around low HP, and the jump shot with a hip fire UMP. Still one of the strongest for the close combat weapon. And look at that. Suddenly, Iraq got 4 eliminations.
It's not done and dusted. And Maldives, Addy, still having their eyes onto it, the same sort of compound, but lucky enough, Kalaga will actually be revived by his teammate. As always, Kalaga is always the one that actually doing the entry for the rest of the team. And they still managed to have a distance in between Maldives. Now, if only Maldives actually move closer, that would be a great victory for them.
I totally agree with you. If they are willingly to, get out from this compound and took the advantage for the elimination, they can win the fight. Even Iraq, one of the players is low HP, so I think, yeah. But again, Maldives is still not safe enough. They won the points, and one of the big points coming for their team is from placement. So I think they are still playing quite safe, especially if it is still the circle number 2 or the second circle or the second zone.
Now here comes to the DMRs using by the side of Mori, which is going to be the Mini 14. He was the previous MVP with 600 over damage, but can he do it again? As they are on top of Ladrilera, will be scattered over by the side of Iraq team, and they need to move because this is, for me, overextending their welcome. Because why? They have been staying here for the longest time and been fighting so many teams, and a lot of shots being hit. They exploited their position. The next circle is just next to them, not too far off. They just need to step right on top of Ladrilera, where we have already the team coming up from Bahrain.
Yeah.
Is playing early this time. I'm surprised they're playing at the center instead of coming up from behind.
Yeah, it's like the Javu coming from Pakistan. The gameplay
True,
quite similar, and I think the prediction coming from Bahrain works really well, especially at this game. But again, when you're already at the center of the game, can you defend? And so far, Chatte Mate with the Mini 14 can knock down one of the players from the other party.
Yeah, it's going to be Mauritius having a bit of a problem against the side of Choto, who's giving so much pressure onto the side of this team. Oh, Vortex is not the way to do, not the time and space, not there. He get knocked down from Salman on the other end, so they can actually just tap it over and finish it off. Look at how Bahrain actually spreading out thin. There's such a wide, beautiful angle of spread. They can actually cover so many teams that coming over this side.
Yeah.
Now this, if they actually use it to their advantage, they can gain so much elimination.
Yup. But for Mauritius, it's not only about Team Bahrain. Right now, they are so close with the other contender coming from the outer circle, coming from Campo Militar with a huge advantage of weapon, vest, helmet, which is Vietnam. But I think from Vionix right now, still dancing on the second floor of this compound, still making the distraction coming for Vietnam. If all the Vietnam's teams already gathering around here, it will be hard one-on-one situation using the Uzi, and that's it. The end for Mauritius and Vietnam. Once again prove when B versus C, they can talk a lot. They can talk much like that.
That's kind of true. Well, like, it has been ringing around rosy for quite some time. That was more than 2 minutes. If only he actually jumped out instead of getting himself into the compound and trap himself, he can actually just steal away the buggy and just get out of it. It might be clipped quite a bit when he tried to start the engine, but he can actually get away for free because you saw the slopes behind the compartment just now was actually really can evade him from the shots. But back to the side of Vietnam team, they are having almost the same sort of rotation with another team earlier. And I think they didn't bump into each other at all.
I think a very late rotation coming from Vietnam, especially when they play at Campo Militar. They can play from the north side and then circling around, go to the El Pozo. So yeah, again, looting Campo Militar will make a huge advantage for their loot. But look at Chinese Taipei, one of the players being taken down by South Korea, but the trade happened suddenly after that.
Yep, they're going to counter fire, and the Blues are closing in as well. The ones actually winning here is going to be Shark. He's still burnt off by the Blue Zone. Try to stop Korea team from actually move forward. There goes the tap, and it will connect for a tiny bit, but it won't be as much big star. You need to move a bit forward, but Shark is not happy about this. But at the same time, I don't think he has any vehicles. And he does actually have a buggy. I mean, I would worry for him if he actually have to go on foot now.
Yeah, because if you do not have vehicle for this kind of circle, that will be a very tough situation for your team. It is so open area. You need the vehicle to move to make it as an obstacle. But Chinese Taipei and South Korea, I think today they are just arch nemesis. But one of the players from Chinese Taipei knows the movement coming from South Korea. But Uriel, weapon of choice is DBS, and I think that's not good for the vehicle. But when the player jumps down, it's so good. Even not only one, two players from Chinese Taipei knocked down by Uriel.
Double down. That DBS, with that distance at first, it won't work until you pocket it. And I mean, like, what was he thinking? There was a DBS right in the face. You have to hop down from the buggy. It will take some time. It was like 0.5 seconds. It definitely will hurt you. And that was unnecessary in the start.
Yeah, I don't know why the Chinese Taipei player tried to push toward the South Korea. I mean, maybe he wants to compound, but to be moved only with one player, even Cheng Fu is still left behind and right now being taken down. That's not a good situation. And I really like how Bahrain plays this circle. They know they have buggy. The buggy ability is can climb up towards the highest hill or the highest mountain. So right now Hassan with DMR, with good scope, which is SKs and 4x scope, he can shoot all the way towards the player at the lower ground.
Comes the spray coming out from Hassan with it. I said, M4 at 1.6 actually first. Just going to give it pressure towards the side of Vietnam. They got themselves such a vintage point. It's just such a wide view, perfect angle to see whatever that's happening down there. But at the same time, I'm loving the fact that Bahrain changing up their tempo here. They're not playing it safe or not playing it like later how Vietnam plays it. They're playing in the center this time. But here comes the coming up from Vietnam, taking down from Bahrain, trading for one, but the distance make it so hard for them to finish things up. Winnie tried to actually win some things. Walud will actually be revived by someone the nearest. Hassan is giving support fire, but the entire cavalry of the Vietnam has arrived. Can he still support from that far coming up from the side of Bahrain?
This is the strong strategy coming from Bahrain. Even though Walud being knocked down, two players from above can do the backup. Look at that. Namshin even can't finish the job already done before because it is not confirmed yet. Even Walud already being revived, and right now Vietnam is a very tight situation. But look at Wene with the SLR. He can knock down one of the players from Bahrain on the high ground. I think this is the only chance for Vietnam to control the lower ground without being taken down by the players on the upper hill.
But it just, they don't have time here. I'm talking about Vietnam. If they stays here, there's another two players on the high ground. It's definitely going to dig in their own grave. 20 minutes to get on Salman. Here comes Hassan. Another go again. So close. 12 minutes to just skate. Just barely make it out, but couldn't be. And still being knocked down, but someone being knocked down again by Twanzi. Hassan have to do so much work here. He's the one that actually got the entire view about what's happening. He needs to bear the responsibility. He's the furthest away with the help of also Choto. Now left with Namchin. Winnie's still stuck in the crate. There's Namchin to actually save Chua, but at the same time, Hassan couldn't overpick. But Choto can actually give so much pressure as well.
But there's the next problem coming for Bahrain. Bahrain. Even though they already got a very good position, they need to move right now from 5th circle or for the 5th circle. They need to go down from the hill. Even Walut is left alone at the lower ground. Eventually, Walut has the buggy, so they need to move right now because Vietnam, I think, in a very good tempo. They want this aggressive, they want this play, they want this fight, and even the two players from Bahrain keep them for a long time. They still can manage to revive their teammate and even pull back 4 players again. But move to Iraq versus Egypt. One of the players from Egypt being knocked down. Iraq really on fire right now.
And not just that, I feel like there's going to be Jordan players coming up from behind them as well. We do have Faith and Yellow Vote coming up to its late, maybe. But Zoe and Gog is quite too far off. Now, Yusuf kind of stuck there. There's no way out for him. Tayo being eye out for Volt with AUG in his hands. Definitely would give a pressure on. And they tried to take him down instantaneously. But at the same time, none of these teams are actually inside of a circle. They need to get out. But Ragnarok managed to get on Euro. I thought they were fighting this. But never mind. Tayo managed to just flee away from the scene into the sunset.
That was very close moment, but with the buggy, with that speed, they can still manage to get out. But look at Ragnarok Mini 14. That was too clean. One shot to the head and knocking one of the players down. But he is not safe enough because from behind, Iraq still shooting towards them. But back again, Jordan already safe at this position. But how about the next circle? How about the 6th circle? Because it will reduce a lot and max the battle happen.
Yeah, they need to move right now. Like you said, it's less than a minute. And like it or not, Maldives start to shoot against. You know what? They're fighting a different team before. Now the Vietnam, it's like they got 2 poisons there. Either way, it's just going to be burning them off. Gaga taking it out. Oh, that's going to be really a burst one. Come out from Ragnarok with that non-stop spray. And now they're not done yet as Gaga still have a grudge against the Vietnam team here. They want to take them down.
Yup. This is the next target. Only 2 players there. Very low HP, even though the vehicle already being broken, but there still can be shot from the bottom part of the vehicle. But look at Gaga with the M4 ×4. He still can shooting, but I think Vietnam is not safe enough because from behind, Bahrain will come, but Walut is being taken down by the other part of the map, which is by Jordan. So the particular place, the Vietnam place, is really located by the other team. It's already exposed and it will be an easy shot coming from a lot of teams right now.
But the one that actually in the center, but a bit of a low grind is going to be Maldives. They got himself the most perfect compound to work with, but Ragnarok and Leif coming out from Jordan. Finish off maybe Maldives butting in the last minute as well. Everybody wants a bits of a pie of Vietnam team, and they definitely cannot even have a breather. We're down to only 4 teams within the 5th phase of a circle, but we're not done yet. It's going to be Jordan taking down on a Maldives. Who shot Leif? It's going to be Toxic from behind. Here comes Jordan. Try to have a headbutt moment. It's going to be a CQC trying to rush in from Jordan.
Look at how confident coming from Jordan, even though one of the players already being knocked down, but look at those backup coming from behind. Even Maldives player right now in a very tight spot. The nade coming from Toxin to knock down one, being knocked out to the lobby. Even one still knocked down right now. But this is the moment, not for the Jordan, but for Iraq, because the fight happening with Maldives. Maldives won the fight, even though a lot of elimination coming for Jordan by the top 2. Look at Iraq. They know this is the chance. Only 2 players left from Maldives, and Iraq will be a headshot, but it is not done yet because Matt do the revenge, and it's actually a very good shot coming from Maldives.
What a nice counter fire from Matt. That was just perfect. Ain't going not done yet. Volt taking on Matt. It's going to be trading 1-2-1. It's equal out the odds. Really close off pushing it and finishing it. Volt going in with a UMP. Now going to go for the circles. Toxin and Mori bleeding out. Can Toxin just reset himself? Volt found it. Iraq get a winner with a chicken dinner. That was so close for Maldives again. 2 times in a row.
2 times in a row for Maldives, but again, Iraq know the time, know the momentum. When the fight happened, they being the 3rd party, and it done so well. Even not only the chicken dinner and a lot of elimination also gotten by Iraqi team. What a game for BNC. it is really different coming from the first day because they step up really well. Chuchu.
There's not just that. I'm loving how Maldives perform. They have more confidence. We love the fact. And also Bahrain is not playing it very slow from behind. They're really playing in the center.
Yeah.
They just change of tempo all of a sudden. Like the last few games of the second day, they do know they need to step up. Let's just rewatch your highlight at the same time and just really understand what we're talking about. And Maldives, it's just so different if we compare with the first day. They were nowhere to be seen. Nobody even gave them enough highlight, and look where they are at right now.
I think this is a really good step up coming for a lot of teams. So it will be more interesting coming for the third day because they already knew what is wrong with our team, what is wrong with our strategy, and how to fix it, and the jump shot with the UMP. Again, UMP being chosen by a lot of pro players for a reason because the hip fire is easy, and again, the fire rate coming from the weapon is so fast.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
And that's just true. You have to agree with that. The UMP is back once more. But Uriel just know how to use that DBS so well. I mean, like, that was jump shot from Shark. He don't even need to jump for Uriel. You know what? I'm going to wait to land.
Yeah.
There it comes in your face. You know?
I think Uriel is really different with your well, right? Your well is good for you, but Uriel, no.
Yeah, you're real.
You're real. I'm real, yeah.
There you go. But for the sort of Bahrain, it was really incredible view coming out from them. But the Vietnam team is just so hard to beat them. You know, they're kind of being hammed between all the teams. There's Jordan right across, there's Bahrain the other side, and then I think there's Egypt on the other end as well. It's like, where to go?
Yeah, it's really hard for Vietnam, right?
I think they shouldn't have overcommitted just now towards the side of Bahrain.
Yeah, I think so because when they overcommitted for Bahrain, they took a lot of times. Even though they can do the counter fire towards the player on the uphill, but they are being stuck right there too long. They did not have the opportunity to at least go into the Maldives compound faster than Maldives. And yeah, Vietnam, at the end of the game, they are just being wiped out because they can't go anywhere else.
You know, I'm super excited about tomorrow's game. I can't wait to see what's going to be tomorrow. This is going to be my last game today, But at the same time, it's just, you see how much a difference between the first and the second day. Like even Jordan earlier, we said Leith will do this a lot of stuff.
Yep.
Gaga stepping up. Sawi is there. I'm like, look at Maldives as well. And Morel was there. And the entire team seems to follow pursuit about their momentum. This is just incredible.
Yeah, totally agree with that. Not only the step up from the team, but we can break it down to be a individual step up. So the gameplay just so amazing coming from those teams. But here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Iraq with 11 elimination, 26 total points, followed by Jordan. Like you mentioned a lot at the beginning, Jordan really stepping up their gameplay. But I think there is still a lot of tasks coming for Team Ghana, Guatemala, because I think today they're still not performing well. They are still not showing their best. But for South Korea, even though last game is not a good situation for them, Chinese Taipei also, but for a few games, they're still giving the best of them.
Yeah, I mean, like they are the teams that we call it as ups and downs. Now we're back to 40s for the overall stat. Just now we got a 30 something, so back to the average. Like usually it's gonna be 42 or 43, but this gonna be the longest elimination by Bahrain Salman. Oh, it's Bahrain taking the longest elimination. Previously, it was
Hassan,
405. Right? Yeah, Hassan.
Yeah.
And now it's Salman. I mean, like, these guys really know how to shoot.
Yeah, I think these guys really know how to handle high ground because they are really good on it. And Salman, congratulations for the new record, 412 meters for the longest distance elimination. What a play coming from Bahrain. Really good at the high ground. And welcome the most available player, Yala Volt from Iraq. 9 eliminations. So it's not only about late for the high elimination, but it can come from the other teams too. Volt from Iraq right now, 712 damage. I think we can't say he is stealing, but he knows
He's
how.
smart.
Yeah, he's smart.
He's smart.
Yeah, every knockdown is so effective. He doesn't need.
Why would you waste your bullets?
Yeah, something like that, right?
Yeah, no, sometimes it's good to do that.
Yeah, it's very good.
Yellow.
I mean, like most of the people, or not most of the people, some of the people will say that it's an easy one, it's a still elimination. But for me, it's a smart move coming from Volt. He's vaulting He's like electrified all the enemy. Yeah, I really like to play with their names.
I think,
Yeah.
but the thing is, whatever it takes to win.
Yeah.
Whatever it takes to win, and even if you get knocked down, like most knocked down, that's what I call as a sad award.
Okay.
You get knocked down, yeah, a lot of damage output, but at the same time, you don't get eliminations of the point anyway. So
Yeah.
what's the point of getting knocked down?
Yeah.
It's
So-
okay if you don't get knocked down, but you get elimination point.
Yeah, because elimination point counted as a point.
Yeah.
Knockdown still knockdown. It's still not a point to up your game, up your team on the leaderboard. But that's all for the Miramar. We still have one more game for the last group, which is Sanok. But before we are going to the last game, we are going to have a short break. So, ladies and gentlemen, still here, support your best team, support maybe your nation, your favorite team, anything. You can support them at the commenter section. So yeah, see you guys after the break. See ya.